Dàmọ́lá. Kí ló ṣe? Àánú ẹ máa ń ṣe mí. Kó o máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé ọ̀rẹ́ ẹni tó ń bẹ ẹ sọ̀rọ̀. Mo fẹ́ ṣe bọ́ọ̀rẹ́ ṣe ń ṣe. Oyinda ó máa ń kó bá ni ni. Ṣé nítorí pé àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀ ń tẹ̀lé àwọn ọmọ yahoo káàkiri ìwọ náà bá ló máa ta tán síbẹ̀?
Àǹtí mi, ọ̀rọ̀ orí bí mọ́mì ṣe sọ yẹn, ẹ má dá wọn lóhùn. Mọ́mì she talks too much. God.
Ó dáa, tó bá gbọ́ tèmi, mo gbọ́ tiẹ̀. Ṣorí nǹkan tí o gbọ́ nípa mi láyé rí, màá sọ fún mi lénìí. Èmi náà máa ṣe ju títí ẹ lọ́mọ tí mo wá ń sisi.
My name's Faithia Akorede. I don't want to say my native name because you cannot pronounce it. It's very short for me, but I'll still tell you. Plus, my native name is Iyomye. That means Orire Williams Balogun. I'm from Delta States. Proud Warri babe. I'm Robo Warri, Opara Water side to be precise. Ha, Bukata. Who has Bukata? Is it not number one? I'm number one from a family of C. We are so large. As a matter of fact, I think we are even more than a football team. But I'm proud to be number one. It's just that the expenses is too much, but I'm coping and God is helping. So I'm number one.
Àlàkẹ́ àbí kí ni wọ́n ń pè ọ́?
Ojú rẹ̀ fọ́ ni.
Ìrìn yín. Ta ni yín?
Wo Àlàkẹ́, mo ní wí fún ọ ni, ojú ẹ̀sìn rẹ ti ṣú, ó sì tó tẹ́ ní ìlú yìí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Ẹ wá. Ẹ dúró kẹ́ ẹ gbèsè yín. Ẹ wò ó, ẹ wojú mi dáadáa. Ẹ jẹ́ lọ sí owó agbẹjẹmọ́wọ́.
Bí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́.
Àlàkẹ́, wá gbọ́, kó o jẹ́ ń sọ fún ọ, kò sáyè fún ọ láàfin, kó yá fi kábíyèsí sílẹ̀ fún wa ni.
Irọ́ ńlá lẹ pa. Ẹ kú àfojúsọ́nà mi Àlàkẹ́, mo dé tán. Ẹ dápẹ́ bọ́ta.
Wọ̀gán sì gbà.
Ẹ kí ni?
Ó gbà ló. Ọ kábùkù.
I was very subtle because my father then, my father is a discipline, as in the kind of discipline this papa gets, I don't understand. He will come, take me to school, wait at the gates, pick me up, go home, bathe me, wait for lesson teacher. We were not rich, but we were very comfortable. I went to one of the best schools. So I will say thank you to my father for that. You understand? So I lived a very subtle life. No going out. The only time we go out maybe is Easter, Christmas, or there's a family gathering. Yes, so I was a very subtle child when growing up. Yeah, because I was subtle and I was kind of reserved. I kept to myself a lot. So I was really not interested in games. And I don't like to be, how would I say it? I don't like to play games and you win me. I will turn into malice. We go fight. We will not be talking again. So when I realized that, I stopped going into games or anything. But while I was in secondary school, I did volleyball. I ran from my school. I was in all through from class 1 to 5. I was always in front of the march past for my school. We're going to come to my school, so you know that I went to school. You know? So I didn't really have a particular game that I would say I really like. So I will tell you that I'm not a game person. I'm not a game person because I don't like they win me. So I'm not a game person.
Gbogbo ẹnu ẹ sọ́hun aláìlẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ìyàwó. Abọ́ máa gbọ́.
Bàrà sọ, ọkọ ẹ̀sìn ló kọ́ rọ̀bà. Ìwọ lọ́kọ́, ọkọ rẹ̀ nìyàwó.
Ìwọ fílẹ̀ jẹ́ ń fún ní èsì. Ṣé tí bá jẹ́ ìyá ọkọ ẹ̀ àbí mo jẹ́ ìyá ẹ̀? Tí mo pe meeting family bó ṣe máa sọ̀rọ̀ nìyẹn.
Àti ẹ̀ nírú yín yọ̀pọ̀, àló máa fẹ́ yín lé yín. Aláìtọ́jú tí a máa.
Ọlọ́run tí a máa yẹ ká nírú ẹ̀ níyàwó ńlé ìdílé mi, Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́. Kò yẹ wo ọjọ́ ọlọ́mọ fi bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Ìwọ kọ́ ló wá gbalé lọ́wọ́ mi o. Ọkọ ẹ ló wá gbalé lọ́wọ́ mi. Nítorí tí mú ẹ nínú ilé yìí mi kọjá àyè mi dọ́dún ẹ̀. Jọ́ fi tiẹ̀ ṣe tiẹ̀.
My academic background, will I remember? Okay, I went to Olufumla Nursery School. I went to Maryland Primary School, Maryland Comprehensive High School. Went to Kwara State Polytechnic. I did diploma in law, but I know if I finish because I can't do law. I can't read too much. So that is basically. Then I went to Olabisi Onabanjo 4 years ago to study, I would say performing arts, just to know about theater a little bit. How did I go into acting? Well, I didn't plan to be an actor, seriously. My dad wanted me to be an accountant. I did not know maths. So how would that one work? So he also wanted me to go to university, and I'm going to talk about that in one of my, what is it called, that I'm doing. Parents want us to go to university. In those days, they feel that Polytechnic is no school. So I waited for a while because he wanted me to go to a university. And when university no come, I quickly went into my, what's it called, my Kwara Poly, JJJJ. So one fateful afternoon, I was going to school. Then my foster brother is late now, Tenifab, Alhaji Fatai Teniola, my foster brother. So they wanted to, they were doing their normal thing, because in those days, I'm sorry, we used to think that acting was for the non-entities. In those days that I started, obviously parents didn't want their kids to go into acting. Not now that parents even come to you and beg you to let his or her child be in the industry. So I was going to school and somebody didn't come that day too. I've said this story like over and over. Someone didn't come to that set. That person's name is Oyeladun. She didn't come to that set. So everybody was like, what do we do now? We have to shoot today. The late Kokon Sari was there, you know. They now called me and said, Faithia, can you act? I said, which one be that one? When did you see me acting? What was the meaning of that? I shouldn't whine me. There was no such slag then. The child said, I don't know how to do. How do I do that? Where do I start from? Fine, in school, in secondary school, we used to do all those dramatic things. Those ones were baby play for me. You know, maybe something day, you just come, where did you put my rice? I used to think all those ones were just child's play when acting in school. So I didn't count that as acting. Okay, fine, I was into entertainment when I was in school, but for me, it wasn't acting. It was just like, okay, fine. I was one of the few people in school that was, you know, small, brilliant like that, sha. So they always put me in front of everything they want to do in secondary school. So I didn't count it as acting. So to cut the long story short, I did the thing and it came out well. And the man was like, she would act. And I said, no, I've never acted before, except we are in school, secondary school, nothing else. So I did that movie called Talopa Chief, and it was big deal that year. So after Talopa Chief, I did The Secretary. That one too was big deal because there was not too much movies then, not too much actors. So when you do one movie, you blow. In those days, yes. Because not too much of it. And I traveled. I left the country for, as you say, you know, now came back year 2000. So I continued from year 2000. And since then, glory be to God. Okay, my first feature movie, I said it before, Talopa Chief. That was in the early 90s. Early 90s, yes. Late 80s, early 90s was Talopa Chief. I was not paid. I won't lie. I was not paid because it was like my brother's movie. So obviously, he's the one that will give me money when I'm going to school. So even then, it was not a job for me. So I was not paid. Well, the first movie I did was like a play, like I said. I was just messing around. So after the 1-2-1, I finished from school and I traveled. So my parents did not even know I acted any movie. So I'm sure maybe later in my, when they are going through my profiles, maybe on the internet, they will now know that, she has started TT. But my parents did not know I was acting that time that I acted. And when I did those 2 movies, I just traveled. Not even 2, I did like 4 before I traveled. I now traveled. So when I got to the UK, when people come to the UK and they want to film, obviously I'm the first they will call. So they will call me. And I also met some England, UK actors that wanted to do Yoruba movie. So when any producer comes to the UK, they just call and say, can you do this? And of course I can do. So I was like what's it called in the UK then? When you come to the UK, you want to film, I'll be the one to do it. So that was when my parents started seeing it. And for them, they still thought it was just one-off. I was joking. So it was no big deal for them. You get? Especially my father till now does not see me as anybody. So he tells me, when you're coming, pull down your, what's it called, at the door. So he still does not see me as an actor. But my mom is my mom likes what our kids like. So she was not against it. She was there's just the negative part. When the negative part started coming in, that was when she was like, no, if this is going to break you down every time, then you have to stop. And I was in love with it then already. I couldn't say no, you know. So we didn't have anything against it like that. But my dad is just this disciplined man that the only thing he wants is just get your education. So even till date, he doesn't really talk about me being an actor. My first movie that I watched was 3 years ago, Simisola Otelemuye. Yes, he came visiting and he just saw the CD and, you know, my daughter was not telling me that Grandpa watched Simisola yesterday and he was saying that, is my daughter this good in acting? So he's not freaked about the acting thing. And because I didn't go for what he wanted me to go for, but at least he's still happy that I'm fine. Was trying moments. He saw you plenty small. No? But I would say the negative part of it actually. Because you just pick up one morning and there's this news about you that you don't even know. You now ask yourself, did I do this thing? Abi, when did I do it? Did my spirit leave my body to go and do it? Those are the worst parts of my life. Negativity of the fame is crazy. Because you wake up, I wake up sometimes and I don't want to go out. In those days of when we have those soft sale magazines, I don't want to start mentioning names, that they will just come, Monday to Friday will be your case. You can't go to the bank, you can't go anywhere because they are talking about you around. So I tell people now that, anyway, it's not as if they are lucky though, because in our own days, it was the soft sell magazine that was writing about us. But these days is social media, you understand? So the negative part of it was my most challenging part. Well, like I said earlier on, that was when my mom was coming in. That was when she was telling me that if this thing is going to keep breaking you, then stop. But I was in love with it then. I couldn't stop. You understand? So all I do is just cry and pray. Along the line, like I said, I was just playing. It was no big deal for me. I got to the UK, yes, I was still doing it. It was no big deal to me. I was just enjoying the fame. That's what I would say. If I go out and they say, that's Faithia Williams, I'll be happy that at least they know me, you know. And I was not collecting money. But I think I collected money for 1 or 2 movies when I was in the UK, though. Not plenty, but I collected. So when I got back to Nigeria, year 2000, I actually told myself, I was receiving calls from Nigeria when I do movies in the UK and they release it in Nigeria. They will call me to say, that your movie was nice. I was like, is this thing paying like that? I started talking to someone. What's about this acting thing? He said, it's good though, blah, blah, blah. I said, can I relocate because of that? He said, why not? I said, are you sure? He said, why not? So it took me 2 years to think about it. That do I really want to relocate because I want to go and start acting? So I told my partner then that, okay, when comes year 2000, I'm relocating. He said, why? I think I want to go and face my acting career. I said, for what? What money? How are you going to? I told him I was going. So before year 2000, something happened. And I just told myself I needed to go. And I came back home. And I started. So that is the greatest risk. And I left my son when I was coming. I left him in the UK with his father. And I came to Nigeria to face my career. That question, seriously, I don't always have an answer for it. You know why? Because I have so many movies that I did at the same time that elevated me. So I don't have a particular one that will say, okay, if I say Onemi Aganga is just around the corner. Do you understand? Okay, people call me Onemi Aganga. Do you understand? People call me Otelemuye. I have so many names. And I keep telling people like that, I'm glad I didn't have a stage name. Because I don't like a stage name. Do you understand? So I'm really glad I didn't have. But of course, my fans still call me Onomia Ganga because that's one of my, movies that's really, really. Of course, the rest did well, but people like this. What's it called? Togism acting, and So Onomia Ganga is there. There's a whole lot. I have a whole lot of movies that I would say that elevated me when I was growing up. Then when I came back from the UK, I did Abule Showo. I did Abule Showo for my boss, Yinka Quadri. That was one of the first movies that I did when I came back for the UK. And the movie did extremely well. So I would say Abule Showo is one of the movies that I did that elevated me a little bit. Then people started calling me. They saw the strength I had. They saw the deepness that I had. So they started calling me. So that was how everything started. But I can't pinpoint like 2 or 5 that, okay, this was the movie that brought me out. No. You understand? But obviously, that name Faithia Williams was there before I left for the UK. And when I came back, it was just a continuity of what I left.
Ìyá àgbẹ̀, lóòótọ́ mo mọ̀ pé inú ìnira ló wà. Kò sí nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ gbà nínú kíwà àtàwọn girls ẹ̀ kù náà. Nothing I want to achieve. Ṣòrí, bó ṣe wà yìí, mi ì mọ nǹkan kan tó ń ṣe ẹ́. Tí má dé sọ pé mo fẹ́ gbẹ̀san ikú tó pa ẹ́ jù o, kò wọ́ ọ̀tẹ̀.
Well, I will just say that I am blessed. I will just say that, alhamdulillah, every movie that I've laid my hands on have been a success. I am proud to say I've made some things in the career, and I'm proud because everything I've got, I got it from this career. Everything I have, the pin in my house is from this career. So I'm always proud to say I'm an actor anywhere. I'm a filmmaker anywhere. Do you understand? So I have achievements is around the corner. I have a whole lot of achievements around the corner from my career. You understand? Anytime I get an award, I see it as my greatest achievement, because for you to grab an award to say best something, that means you're recognized like full-time. Okay, like when I got my Africa Magic award, I was like on top of, I was like a Sharon Stone. Seriously. To get an African Magic award, you know how hard that can be. So for my movie, me, Faithia, got African Magic award. Hey, that year was my, I don't understand. I was walking with my shoulder pad like this. Yes, proud of it. It's me, I got it, So I think that is one of my greatest achievements too.
Okay. Ma try best me.
Thank you, ma.
No, for deserving. How alright as well.
What I would advise the upcoming actors, firstly, education. Education is important. Trust me. Education is important. I didn't go to school the way I wanted to. I wanted to have PhD, masters, blah, blah, blah. I wanted to be, you understand, but I did not have it. So I told myself, my kids, hey, I don't know that kind of school, Sha. Maybe it's not in this world. They're going to get the education that I did not get. And I will beg them, if it's begging them, I will beg them to have it. Because as you grow, you see that education is important. I tell my students, it's not just coming to say you want to be an actor. Because where this thing is going now, if you're not educated, nothing will come for you. If you don't know how to read and write, nothing will come for you. So even the small that I have, when I'm reading my script, I'm proud of myself. I will now tell myself, Faithia, what if you did not go to school? What if you did not even go small to read this? What would have happened? I'll be crying by now, or I'll kill myself. So please, go to school first. Before you want anything you want to do. We see graduates now being makeup artists, all those things they do now. Then you ask them, are you in school? Yes, I just finished my. They are all graduates. And you see makeup artists, you see costumier, you see a whole lot of people, but they have gone to school. So it's important for you, my dears, to please get your education before saying you want to come into acting. You can even act and go to school, but my point is, go to school is important.